Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I would like to talk to you about Buggy the Clown and his new crew or enterprise, which is the Cross Guild, in which he is seemingly the leader of a new alliance between himself, Crocodile, and Mihawk, which is, oh my god. First, I want to come out and just say, I don't believe that he's actually running the show. I don't believe that any of this is his. I think that he's just basically the figurehead. He's the loudest. Has a history of falling upwards, and so that is why he is now one of the YONKO, and he is being considered the leader of the Cross Guild Alliance or company or whatever you want to call it. For a long time now, ever since we kind of like had the cliffhanger of the warlords being attacked by the world government and the Navy, there's been a lot of theories and thoughts of like, well, now that they're no longer being protected, well, not they were being protected, but now that they're no longer in some way allied with the Navy, maybe the warlords will start working together. And obviously we're seeing that here. I think what's most interesting about this is Crocodile, who the last time we saw, I think he was like, oh, it's time to make our own move or whatever. And it was him and like Mr. One. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about, the most interesting part of this is Mihawk. Let's be honest here. Like, it seems about right, now that I think about it, that Crocodile would like join. Well, okay, maybe not join specifically with Buggy himself, but like it seems like he would want to be part of another criminal organization. And if this is as big as it seems it is, that it makes sense that he would want to be part of it. Mihawk, on the other hand, is a little bit weird because he's always been a loner, and even with his connections with like Perona now, it seems like he'd rather just be on his island by himself. Granted, he can't be there anymore because the world government and the Navy are after him, but either way, it seems like he would just want to be on his own. So his motivation to join them is a little more, it's a little more tricky to pinpoint. As far as their alliance goes, I actually think it makes a decent amount of sense. For one, Buggy is like, he was on Roger's crew. It makes sense that he would be like seen as the leader, because even if he is sort of an idiot, as Luffy says, people would think that he's like, you know, some kind of like, oh, he was on the King of the Pirates ship. He must have some kind of strength, inner strength that like others don't necessarily have. So it seems about right that he would be considered the leader of the group. Not only that, but I can definitely see the Cross Guild going up against the Straw Hats and their allies, which would make a whole lot of sense because there's a lot of matchups and a lot of reunions in this whole thing that like definitely need to happen. For one, the most obvious is Mihawk versus Zoro. I don't know if that'll happen next or if that'll happen more closer to the end game, which we are dangerously close to. But it seems about right. And honestly, I could see there being a scenario in which Zoro goes up against both Mihawk and Mr. One, seeing as they all have this sort of blade swordsman kind of thing going on with each other, and a rivalry of sorts. Meanwhile, with Buggy and Crocodile, there's a connection there because now Buggy is allied with Mr. 3, and so obviously Mr. 3 was originally part of Baroque Works with Crocodile, so it makes sense that they're like, all of the pieces are there. All of the allies and former allies are kind of all together in one place at this point. Not only that, but I could definitely see them breaking Bone Clay out. I love Mr. 2. I think he'll ultimately obviously join Luffy on his side, but like, it seems fair to think that eventually he will break out and maybe he'll bring some of the new Kama people with him. Hell, I could see Bone Clay and his people from Impel Down actually joining the Straw Hat Grand Fleet at some point. In addition to that, I think that Robin meeting up with Crocodile will be a major moment. I think she kind of just like, he got arrested and whatever by the Marines, and then she kind of joined the Straw Hats very unceremoniously, and ever since then they haven't really seen each other. So I have a feeling that there's going to be a really awesome moment between the two of them. Now, matchups aside, there's something really interesting going on here. Buggy has been running a successful business in general. It was the Buggy delivery service, right? So obviously he's been making some amount of money, but that kind of segues into my next point. they have come up with a bounty system for the Marines. This is politically huge, this is societally huge, this is crazy, this is nuts, but it begs the question, where is Buggy and Crocodile and Mihawk getting the money to supply these bounties? Obviously, they're gonna have to pay out at some point, otherwise the bounties don't mean anything. So it makes me wonder, Buggy has been going after the pirate, like John's whatever his face is, treasure. He got the bangle from Luffy all the way back at like Impel Down and the Marineford arc. But it makes me wonder, did he get that, or is there more importance to that in relation to the One Piece, or is that just, it literally was just a cache of money, and that's how he's supplying all of these bounties? Not only that, but in my opinion, I think it was Crocodile's idea to begin with. Buggy might be supplying the money, and the Crocodile supplying the, like, interconnecting business connections to make these bounties actually be worth something. I genuinely can't wait to find out the bounties for like Sengoku and Garp and the admirals and Suru and Momonga. Momonga was one of the people going after the warlords, so I bet he has a pretty decent bounty himself. And honestly, I could see there being a conflict between the Cross Guild and the Straw Hats due to this bounty system, in which, while technically the bounties don't directly affect Luffy and his crew, with his grandpa maybe now having a bounty and people going after the world government, it seems like he would not necessarily want that. Obviously, Luffy is relatively hands-off and typically trusts the people around him, but I do think that what happened with Ace maybe has taught Luffy a lesson, and ultimately, if he hears his grandpa Garp is going to be in trouble, or that something is wrong with Sabo, for instance, I think he'll be more inclined to go and help them if the situation demands it of him. I don't think he'll sit idly by anymore for that kind of stuff. So I could definitely see there being a scenario in which pirates are going after Garp, and maybe something significantly happens that puts him in danger, and maybe Luffy has to step up against the Cross Guild, and that's how we get our Zoro versus Mihawk fight and a reunion between Robin and Crocodile. Not only that, but Shanks is somewhere around here, and he's obviously going to have to talk to Buggy at some point. They have not, as far as we know, gone to Laugh Tale, obviously. So at some point, they're both going to make it to Laugh Tale and see what their crew, their former crew, had seen before them. At the end of the day, I'm actually super excited to see the inner workings of the Cross Guild, because I have no doubt in my mind that while Buggy has a giant mouth, literally, he's not the one running the, like, at least the day-to-day stuff. He is the poster child. He is the one who is taking all of the flack for it. And then I don't know what Mihawk's deal is. Maybe he's got motivations to be part of this other than just being an ally with a bunch of other strong pirates. I don't know. It doesn't seem like him, but we'll find out why eventually. But I could definitely see Crocodile running the business end of this way more than Buggy is. He may even tell Buggy to shut up, and there might be a running gag of like, Buggy's the face, but he's got zero power. And I forgot to mention, Kobe probably has a bounty too. I'd be willing to bet that at some point we'll see what's going on with Sword and Garp and Sengoku and obviously Kobe. And maybe, I don't know, is Drake alive still? I don't know. I don't think he died. Either way, I'd be willing to bet that we're going to hear something about them discussing the bounties and all of that. There's definitely some interesting prospects going on with this. Honestly, I never thought I would ever be excited to see Buggy do stuff because he's such an idiot. But other than just being, a comedic relief character, he is becoming very, very important. You should check out, I have a video about why he's one of the emperors and why it makes sense. I'll put a card or something somewhere around here. I'm excited. I think it's going to be really cool to find out what exactly is going on with his Cross Guild. I hope we don't leave it as this and then come back to it somewhere down the line. I hope that we find out maybe even next chapter. But what do you guys think about this guild, this Cross Guild, this alliance between Buggy, Crocodile, and Mihawk? What do you think is really going on here? Because it seems like there's something maybe more than meets the eye to it. Let me know what you guys thought down below in the comments section. And if you liked anything I had to say and want to see more One Piece content like this, make sure to like and then also subscribe and ring the bell, and that way you'll get notifications when I upload. I will see you guys in another video, hopefully very soon. See ya.